Once upon a time, there was a beautiful, sweet, but sad girl. Nobody remembers her name, but everybody called her Cinderella. They called her like that because she was always by the stove. The smoke and soot covered her in ashes and loneliness. She lived with her stepmother. A selfish, cruel woman who had two daughters that spent all day giving orders and bothering poor Cinderella. They were jealous of Cinderella because they were very ugly. One was tall and skinny, and the other one was short and fat.
Cinderella!
The skinny one said,
The prince will offer a ball tomorrow night, and he invited all the young ladies from the kingdom to choose one as his future wife.
We will attend the ball with Mother, and we want you to wash and iron all of our dresses so we can choose the most beautiful ones.
The fat one added.
All right, whatever you say.
Cinderella nodded.
But am I invited as well? You? Nonsense!
The stepsisters laughed.
And what would you wear? Those ugly and dirty clothes, perhaps? And if maybe one of you could lend me a dress?
You naughty girl!
The stepmother yelled.
How dare you think you deserve to wear one of my girl's dresses?
This ended the discussion, and Cinderella started washing and ironing her stepsisters' dresses, while tears ran down her cheeks.
I would be so happy if I could shower, do my hair, and wear a beautiful dress. If I could dance at least once.
The night of the ball, the stepmother and her two daughters left early, bickering over which of the two the prince would pick.
Me, please choose
Choose
me. I'm the one for you, please.
you
Me.
silly!
Choose me.
Cinderella saw them leave and was left behind. She was very sad and stayed by the stove, wondering how the prince would be. She fell asleep dreaming about the ball and this song.
I just want to dance. I just want my dreams to fly. All I want is love.
Little did she know that the music she was dreaming of was actually playing, and her fairy godmother, who always helped the good girls, had come to make her wish come true.
Cinderella, wake up!
Said the fairy in a soft voice. Cinderella opened her eyes and noticed that she was now clean and radiant. She was in a beautiful gown and glass slippers that showed off her beauty.
Don't be scared. I am your fairy godmother, and I will give you a wonderful night at the ball.
The fairy took a pumpkin, and with her magic wand, she turned it into a carriage. Then she took 2 mice and turned them into a coachman to take Cinderella to the ball.
Cinderella,
The fairy godmother warned.
you must remember that at midnight the magic will end, and with it the carriage, the coachman, your gun, and the slippers.
Thank you, Fairy Godmother. I promise I will be back before midnight.
Cinderella arrived at the ball, and the prince, who was very bored at the moment, received her excitedly. He asked her to dance and found that besides her beauty, she was graceful and delightful. Cinderella was delighted as well. It seemed as if they were dancing in paradise by themselves.
It's time to laugh and dance. The night is still young. The prince already found his one and only love. Cinderella's voice resounded in the ball. The prince was so delighted. He fell in love. But please remember, remember, look the clock. Always remember, remember, look the clock. But please remember, remember, look the clock. Always remember, remember, look the clock. You can still have fun, but the night's already gone. Where is Cinderella? She left in such a rush. Her slipper was forgotten. The prince don't want to find it. Through all the stairs he's running, but she's gone. But please remember, remember, look the clock. Always remember, remember, look the clock. But please remember, remember, look the clock. Always remember, remember, look the clock. It's already midnight, you have to leave. Your carriage already waits for thee. Already midnight, the clock has hit. The magic spell is gone with the wind. It's already midnight, you have to leave. Your carriage already waits for thee. Already midnight, the clock has hit. The magic spell is gone with the wind. Look the clock.
The clock announced midnight. Cinderella had forgotten her promise and ran desperately, just in time before the magic ended, losing one of her glass slippers. The prince ran after her, worried. He saw a sparkle of the glass on the stairs and found the lost slipper. The prince ordered immediately to all of his servants to search house by house for the owner of such a precious treasure who had stolen his heart. For days, the slipper went around from foot to foot, but sadly nobody could fit in it. Finally, the servants knocked on Cinderella's door. The stepsisters ran over to try it on, but it was useless. They couldn't make it fit. The servants were about to leave when they heard Cinderella singing. They asked her to approach.
She's just a maid, and she didn't even go to the ball.
The stepmother explained. But the prince, who came over to see how they fulfilled his demands, recognized Cinderella's voice.
Cinderella!
He asked them to bring her, and even though she was covered in ashes, he knew right away that she was his princess. Some days later, and always keeping their distance, the stepmother and her two daughters saw Cinderella happily become the prince's wife and regretted ever being mean to her.
The prince and Cinderella got married, yes, at last. The wedding was so pretty. In a carriage they arrived. With her magic crystal slippers, she shined in the night. Bells ringing, vows and singing, my story has begun. My dream is blue, my dream is. My dream came true at last. My dream is blue, my dream came true at last. The prince and Cinderella let the dreams become their life. Their love was so remembered, many tales were told out loud. Even fairies went out dancing, there was music all around. With the genies and the goblins who were feasting way downtown. My dream is blue, my dream is. My dream came true at last. My dream is blue, my dream is. My dream came true at last.
Moral of the story: you don't need to be rich to become a princess. True love is sometimes all you need. Puss in Boots. Once upon a time, an old, tired miller decided to split his will among his children. The eldest received the mill, the second received a mule, and the third a cat. The youngest felt disappointed and complained to his father.
With a mill and a mule, my brothers can work, not to become rich, but to cover their needs. But me, what can I do with a cat?
The problem seemed to have no solution until something amazing happened. In a corner in the poor house, the youngest son stared worried and silent at the cat while playing with some very few coins his brothers had collected to quench his despair. Suddenly, From within the cat, a profound, grave, and beautiful voice seemed to bloom.
Don't look at me that way, master. Soon you'll see I'll be your lucky cat. What? Am I dreaming or is this cat actually talking to me?
Cried the frightened kid.
It is not a dream, master. I am talking to you because aside from being smart and beautiful, I am a very special cat that will turn you into a powerful prince. But only if you trust me and obey my orders.
The kid couldn't talk. All he could do was wave his head up and down.
With those coins, you'll go buy me a disguise so I won't look like a cat, but like your servant. And we will together go and walk in the woods wherever I lead you to. That's all you have to do.
The kid was so shocked that he obeyed and spent the few coins in the cat's outfit. But he almost cracked in laughter when the little cat insisted in buying some huge and extravagant boots that were in the store.
Are you crazy? What are you going to do with those ridiculous boots?
But the cat convinced the boy, and he bought the boots for him.
I am the puss in the boots. I'm the best cat in the world. You won't find a better mascot. You should call me King of Kings. I am the puss in the boots. I'm the best cat in the world. Find a better mascot. You should call me King of Kings. It is not my vanity. I'm so humble, don't you see? It's just that I'm so very wonderful. You should call me King of Kings. Look at me, I'm so clever, ingenious and so refined, so cunning and so brave, so blindly educated. Oh yeah. Never think that I'm a liar. I'm creative, I'm so great. I'm the cool guy of the story. You should call me King of Kings. You should call me King of Kings.
They crossed the woods, and in a certain place, they stood in front of a river. There, the cat asked his master to take off his clothes and to bathe himself in the fresh and cool waters. The moment the boy got in the water, the cat hid his master's clothes and ran swiftly as the wind to a beautiful castle nearby. There, an evil giant sorcerer ogre dwelled, and as soon as he saw the cat, he got ready to eat him.
Here it here it comes my lunch. Just a very skinny cat. I will eat him for breakfast, even if he's just a bony fly. What was he thinking when coming? He must not be very cunning. Innocence must be the answer to this most dangerous action. What a sweet and delicious treat. Funny I didn't ask for him. Suddenly he came like the wind. I find it hard to believe. I don't care if he's gracious, charming and wonderful too. He has broke into my property. He will be lunch for curiosity. Here it comes, my lunch. Just a very skinny cat. I would eat him for breakfast, even if he's just a bony feline.
A little cat for lunch.
Just a minute, you frightening ogre,
said the cat.
You can go ahead and eat me, but before I die, grant me a wish.
Whatever you say, Lunch. What are your wishes?
I want to see you perform a trick. For example, turn into a lion.
The ogre granted him the wish, and instantly, with a great roar, he turned into a lion. Frightened, the poor cat got chilling goosebumps. When the sorcerer turned to his original form again, the cat stated with indifference while plotting a new plan.
That must be easy. But can you turn into something smaller? Like a little mouse?
The ogre fell in the trap, obeyed, turned into a mouse, and the cat immediately ate him. On his way back to the river, the cat let every peasant and worker in the region know that the horrifying ogre that had enslaved them for years and made them work without pay was gone forever.
From now on, your master will be a kind man who will treat you with noble justice. His name is Duke of Carabas. Don't forget that, when you're asked who your master is, Duke of Carabas it is.
Arriving to the river, the cat saw his poor master trembling, very cold, and not daring to come out naked from the waters. Suddenly, a powerful king, neighbor of these lands, which he was visiting, showed up in his mighty chariot, escorted by his beautiful daughter. So the cat started yelling,
Help! Help! My master, the Duke of Carabas, has been robbed. Some bandits took from him his luxurious clothes and have left him trapped in the water.
The king himself brought out his best suit and gave it to the young man who, when dressed, showed his true elegance.
Oh, he's so handsome and gorgeous.
Said the princess, who traveled with the king,
And so elegant and noble.
and fell in love immediately.
My lord, the Duke of Carabas, as a token of his gratitude for your generosity, has the pleasure of inviting the king and his precious daughter to stay in his beautiful castle.
Shh, don't worry, said in a very quiet whisper to the young man who looked frightened in his lack of understanding.
Follow my lead and I'll explain later.
The young man had also fallen in love with the princess at first sight. On their way to the castle, all the peasants assured the king their master was a young nobleman whom they called the Great Duke of Carabas.
All hail the Duke, our lord! All hail! Long live the Duke of Carabas!
Impressed by the Duke's kindness, attention, and by the splendor of his castle, all of this planned by the cat, the preparations for the marriage of his daughter and the fortunate miller began. Meanwhile, the cunning Puss in the Boots listened to the beautiful love song that the prince and princess happily sang in love.
Of all the cats in the world, he's the most famous of all. He was owned by a miller with no money for his food. He was an elegant cat, his hair so brown and so short. Big green eyes, they're so shiny, and amazing pretty voice.
His shiny boots made him famous. His master bought them for him. Always talking all day long. No one talk more than him.
Know him, such a different cat, clever and so cunning. All words are his strength, yeah. Know him, such a different cat, such a picky cat, dressed like a gentleman. He was a cat in the boots who proposed a big change from a poor lonely miller to the Duke of Carabas, to a beautiful princess. The clever cat introduced, with his charm and his stocking, all the kingdom at his hands, yeah. Know him, such a different cat, clever and so cunning. All words are his strength, yeah. Know him, such a different cat, such a picky cat, dressed like a gentleman. The cat has spoke.
Moral of the story: be the first and be the better, not by force, for reason is achieved by intelligence.